About 7 in 10 women will experience some form of morning sickness during the first trimester of pregnancy.
Well, that's bad enough, but in some cases, the condition becomes much more severe and can cause unrelenting nausea and vomiting throughout the entire pregnancy. The condition, called hyperemesis gravidarum, lands 2% of pregnant women in the hospital each year, and it can lead to life-threatening complications for both the mother and the fetus. But now, a new study from the University of Cambridge has positively identified the hormone responsible for the condition, and this discovery could pave the way for new and effective treatments.
Dr. Jessica Shepard is the Chief Medical Officer at Verywell Health and is also a board-certified OBGYN. She joins us now from Dallas. Dr. Shepard, thanks very much for being with us. You know, morning sickness is often brushed off as just a normal part of pregnancy, but the consequences can be serious. What are some of the risks associated with the more severe form?
Absolutely. As you mentioned earlier, 80% of women may have some nausea or vomiting throughout pregnancy, but usually we see that go away after the first trimester. So now we're really focusing on the severe forms of that, also known as HG or hyperemesis gravidarum, which can impact the quality of life or even just the ability for women to eat or drink throughout the entire pregnancy. It actually is one of the most common causes of hospitalizations during pregnancy when we see this severe form, which is about 2% of nausea, vomiting, in pregnancy.
And Dr. Shepard, it's interesting that the researchers not only identified this hormone, but were they able to better understand then why some women respond so differently, so extremely to this hormone?
Yeah, when they're looking actually at that component, which is also known as GDF15, the good thing is that we can actually blame the baby because it is something that is produced by the fetus. And so this is, again, something that we see a sensitization, and that is going to give you the intensities or the severities that women are having throughout the pregnancy. Now, the important part of this is what we saw throughout this study, which was done by USC and Cambridge, is that if we're able to really locate and look at this particular onset in this gene, this is going to be able to now lead us into how we can predict HG or diagnose the disease, but also manage and treat, because it really is the physical manifestation and symptoms of hyperemesis that really make the worst parts of some women's pregnancies.
And Dr. Shepard, in light of this, what are researchers working on in terms of new treatments?
Yeah, we're looking at how this gene codes, what is the level or the presentation of the actual level in the placenta that is sending the signal to the part of the brain that controls our nausea and appetite. So if we're able to look at all of these different cascades and find exactly where we can, for a lack of a better term, interfere so that these signals are not sent out, this again is going to impact how women sense or how they have that sensation of nausea and vomiting throughout pregnancy. And again, we're really looking at this severe form because hyperemesis can really last the entire pregnancy. I know you remember that the Duchess of Cambridge had this for all of her pregnancies, and specifically the first, she was hospitalized for it.
And I appreciate that you're talking about it, even in talking about her case, these other high-profile cases that we've heard of recently, as hyperemesis gravidarum or the nausea and vomiting that comes from this pregnancy. Because a lot of times people, when we say morning sickness, it sounds so trite. It sounds like, oh, maybe you don't feel so good when you wake up. And that's not what it's about. I know for me, it was not exclusively limited to the morning, but this is really something that hasn't been studied a lot. Is this research a harbinger of additional attention, additional studies that are happening in this field, or is it still something that lags behind, in part because women have shouldered this burden for so long?
Yeah, you bring up a lot of different aspects of what leads to research. And again, for women, a lot of times it's kind of pushed off as this is something that happens through pregnancy. But a lot of people don't realize the severity of hyperemesis and how severe it is. And this actually can lead to weight loss, malnutrition, loss of appetite for the entire pregnancy. So again, it really does have an importance of something that we should be researching, but we really need people to understand how severe it is and that women really typically should not have to go through this type of experience in pregnancy. So I think as we start to shed more light on it and gain more knowledge and perspective, we're really going to see the importance of what, and I think women are going to be more motivated to come up and speak about their experiences with hyperemesis.
All right. Dr. Jessica Shepard. Dr. Shepard, thanks very much.
Thank you.